Mother Mayhem's background. The organization is back, and the Titans fight off zombies. Hello, everyone. This is Ray, and this is the Fandom Realm. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Season 4, Episode 4 of Titans. As always, this is a spoiler review, so just be warned. Now, Episode 4 is going to begin with some flashbacks to the late 1990s. And that's going to reveal how Mother Mayhem herself was recruited. And that's actually going to be in sort of the same way that Mother Mayhem was trying to recruit Sebastian in the last episode. She was moving between jobs, letting untapped power sort of run amok until she was presented with a card full of words by a man in a diner. She spoke them aloud and everything changed. Now we're going to skip to basically a scene with the Titans and Sebastian, and we're going to get to see everybody discussing the situation that's going on. Rachel is talking to Sebastian, and he actually starts to repeat those words as well. He was telling her the words that were on the card that he was shown while he was being held by Mother Mayhem before he was broken out of jail. And with that, she is going to realize the importance of them. She's heard them before. She stops him from saying the word and completing what he was going to say. We do get to see Dick and Corey talking about what's going on, and they realize that the organization may still be out there, and it goes back to when they blew the asylum up as well. They're going to decide to go back to the asylum, and with that, the actual building is now called Mart, and it looks like there's a situation where it was built over top of the remains of the asylum. Now, we also got some more scenes of Gina and May Bennett, who we know that's Mother Mayhem, and sort of their movement to the dark side. We are going to get to see a scene where the man has gathered a group of, it looks like mostly women, around a big hole in the ground. I'm guessing that might be something there near the asylum area, near Mart. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing that since they're talking about that area now. But eventually, Mother Mayhem, May Bennett, and I think that's Gina is her name. They're together. They let themselves fall backwards into the hole. Basically, the idea was who will sacrifice themselves, and they both did. And what's going to end up happening is Gina actually betrays May Bennett, and she's going to end up getting out. That is Gina, Mother Mayhem / May Bennett. She is presumed dead. Now, we do get to see the guy who was doing the recruiting for Trigon. That's pretty much where this is going. He actually is going to be with Gina, and May Bennett walks in. She's been saved by Trigon, or whatever power they're working with. It's going to be revealed that Mother Mayhem was pregnant, and she had a baby. The problem was the baby boy was, a boy, and Trigon needs girls. So the little boy was taken away. It's assumed at that point in time that the baby was probably killed, but I'm wondering if the baby is supposed to be Sebastian. We'll see what happens with that. So the Titans have come over to Mart, and they're going to be nosing around, and a bunch of crows are flying around the one area, and they're going to sort of follow that as a lead, and they find their way inside and down into the asylum area, or where it was, and they find an area with chains and a sort of like a nursery rhyme book that has people in it that looks an awful lot like the Titans. But of course, there's nobody there. And so that is going to get them into the asylum area. And Mother Mayhem is sort of watching things from a distance. I'm not really sure. She's in her lair, and with that, she's actually going to make the employees of Mart into these zombies that are going to come and attack the Titans. Now, with all that going on, the Titans are going to split up. They're going to end up fighting these people, these zombies. They're all going to be doing fighting, and they're going to end up doing pretty good against them. They basically beat back the main group of zombies. But then Mother Mayhem sort of gets involved, and she actually sends a familiar face to face the Titans. And that familiar face is Deathstroke. Now, of course, he's zombie Deathstroke, and he's being completely controlled by Mother Mayhem, where she's back at her lair. And so the Titans are going to fight Deathstroke. At one point, Connor actually punches his head off. The body, because it's being controlled by Mother Mayhem, actually walks back over, picks his head up, and puts it back on. And so basically, it's going to be really hard to kill him. Now, one thing we're going to see during the battle with zombie Deathstroke is that when Connor actually attacks him, at one point, he's going to stab Connor. And with that, we're assuming some type of magic was being used here by Mother Mayhem, because Connor's actually going to start bleeding and will eventually have to be healed by Jinx. And that sort of taps her magic for a little while. So the Titans do come up with a plan. We're not really aware of it when they start it, but Dick is going to draw Deathstroke away, and they're going to fight. Eventually, Deathstroke does get a little bit of an upper hand and hurls Dick off, but that's going to allow him to get a little bit of time, and he goes and is able to nab Sebastian, who is sort of sitting behind the wall hiding, and Deathstroke's going to go take Sebastian, put him in the van, and he's going to start to drive away. Well, the only problem is that's not actually Sebastian. Sebastian turns into Jinx. She's able to look like people, and with that, she's going to use her magic to end up destroying Deathstroke. The Titans head back to Star Labs, and they are actually trying to find somewhere to hide Sebastian until the red moon ends. And I thought it was really interesting here that they name-dropped Constantine. When they ask Bernard if the place is secure, he basically tells them that Superman and Constantine tried to get in and they both couldn't, and so that it should be very safe. So as they head in to lock away Sebastian, Connor heads into the bathroom, and it becomes obvious that he's been infected with something, probably from his battle earlier with Deathstroke and Mother Mayhem when he got stabbed and had to be healed. And he throws up a lot of blood into the toilet and one of those gnarly snakes that they've been pulling out of people, one like the one that he pulled out of Lex Luthor before he scorched it. We don't get to see too much of what happens to Connor, but he does come and walk by the, I'm going to call it a cell that they are going to keep Sebastian in, and the door's going to close after Gar asks him if he's okay, and Connor's going to walk away, and the episode ends. So now I want to get into some thoughts and reactions on this episode. And the first thing I just want to say is how much I really like all the flashbacks to basically how Mother Mayhem was created. And it also showed us a little bit of Gina, who was there with her. Apparently they're going to be best buds now. But it is also revealed, and I didn't put this in the recap part, that Gina was actually Sebastian's next door neighbor at his apartment. But I thought it was very interesting how they developed those two characters, and they really did a good job of showing us just what we needed to know to understand where those characters are today. And they didn't try to overdevelop it. And I also like that they used a flashback. I'm big into flashbacks, so give me good flashbacks, I'll be okay. Second thing, and I already mentioned it just a little bit, is I'm very curious as to why they name-dropped Constantine in this episode. Could there be a possibility that they actually have him in this season? That would be an interesting wrench to throw into the whole process. Third interesting thing I also think is the idea that Connor was able to be stabbed and actually bled. They had talked earlier in the episode about some of his fears, and Jinx was talking about the issue that Superman has fighting magic, and she actually accused Superman of knowing that this problem had to do with witchcraft, so that's why he went off to this other planet in order to not have to fight the fight, which upsets Connor. And I'm very glad to see he was sort of defensive about this. And, it's Superman, and he wanted to defend him. But it turns out that she may have been right, because Mother Mayhem was able to injure Connor. And so I'm going to be interested to see how they continue that type of storyline. Now, one last sort of positive thing I'm going to throw in there is I'm really enjoying the pacing of this season. We've been through 4 episodes, and we've gotten quite a bit done so far. We've killed Lex Luthor. We have gotten into Star Labs. We have basically figured out Mother Mayhem's background. They have Sebastian in tow, hiding him at Star Labs. You have the Red Moon basically getting ready to start. You have lots of things going on, and there's lots of action, and that's keeping the pacing really good, and I'm appreciative of that. Not like other series that take 11 episodes to pull one heist and break out of jail. And so I'm really enjoying the pacing. Now, I am going to say, overall, I enjoyed this episode. I liked a lot about it. But I am going to hit it on a couple things, though, here. And that is that action with the zombies and the fight was subpar for even Titans. I thought they have done much better in the past, and this was just sort of, it was like they just threw it in or something. I don't know. I thought the action was not good. And along with that, sort of the other negative thing is I never have liked this Trigon storyline. I was so glad at the end of season 1 and the start of season 2 that they didn't make that into a season-long story. And here it is showing up in season 4 of Titans. I just wish they would get rid of all this supernatural stuff. I really do. It would make me so much happier. So let's do a grade for this episode. And I think I'm going to have to go with a C+. It wasn't as good, I thought, as some of the previous episodes, but it wasn't terrible. I enjoyed it. I liked most of the episode. I like what they're setting up. But just the fact that the fight scene was so bad for Titan standards, and this whole supernatural idea in witchcraft just sort of knocks it down a little bit for me. So with that, I hope everybody has enjoyed this review. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. And I'll see you next time on the Fandom Realm.